My name is Peter Smyrniotis, and this is a Market 1 Minute. We're here at the 2018 Cantech conference, and with me today is Doran Cohen. He's the CEO of A-Lab Ventures. Doran, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Excellent. For our audience, I'd like to get them informed. Can you tell them a little bit about what A-Lab Ventures is about?
Sure. So A-Lab Ventures, first of all, we're an Israeli-based company, but we're looking to provide banking services, corporate advising services to all types of companies. We're pretty much sector agnostic, but what we like to do is take companies public. I mean, that's our end goal, that's our sweet spot. This is what we've been doing for many, many years already, quite successfully. And I would say recently, about 8 months ago, we actually were introduced to the Canadian market. And that's basically what brought us back here into Canada. We are helping a lot of companies today raise capital, but raising capital through mostly public markets.
Okay.
Now, I would say about a year ago, we got into the ICO space as well. So, I mean, I see a lot of blockchain and very, very big hype here in Canada. But it's something that we got into to help companies raise as an alternative. So we do public markets, but we also got into the ICO, the fundraising around ICO. And just recently we decided, look, I mean, ICOs are great, but if you can manage to merge the two and synergize between both capital markets, regulated markets, and an ICO market, then you probably have something that can really work. And this is where we came with a new concept of ours as a regulated coin offering. So it's an RCO as opposed to an IPO or an ICO, if you would, what's familiar today in the market. So we've been doing this. We're actually the first company to issue out a F1 prospectus to the SEC. January 11th was the date that history was made. So I'm happy with that. And now we're here looking for funding around a few of our companies that are also in the blockchain space, as well as many other different sector spaces.
That's very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Follow-up question to that would be, you mentioned you're an Israeli-based company, but you're operating here in Canada now. What's with the transition? Why Canada?
Well, that's an interesting question. Look, Canada, I have to say, first of all, it's North America for us. And a lot of Israeli companies, by the way, are looking for North American funding. They're looking to get into North America. They're looking for operations in North America. Now, when you're looking at capital markets, I mean, you have NASDAQ, you have London Stock Exchange, you have other markets around the globe. Australia is very popular, Singapore. But when you're looking at reaching out to a North American audience, and if you're not that big or big enough to be either London traded or NASDAQ traded, then Toronto is a fantastic stepping stone into that. I mean, it can provide you everything you need. You know, the TSX, TSXV, all these vehicles have been put in place for companies that are small cap, micro cap, and it allows them to gain traction, first of all, to actually become public. You know, it's almost like a public venture capital, you know? So Israeli companies are very used to VC. But the VC market is very difficult. It's not that open to startups. It's not that open to smaller caps. And so when you're looking at what Canada has developed, what Toronto specifically has evolved to be in, which is probably the #1 venture arm today, public venture arm in the world, that is what brought us to Canada. We can bring our companies, we can bring our small caps, micro cap companies that are looking for funding, that don't want to go private, they want to be a publicly traded company. To get them started in Toronto is probably the best way that they can do it. And that's pretty much why we came here.
That's really helpful. That's a very thorough explanation. Yeah. With 2018 underway, 1 month under the belt, what can we expect from A-Lab Ventures in 2018? What comes down the pipe?
Well, I think one thing, as you mentioned, 1 month under the belt, so we've done one major thing, which is the regulated coin offering. Two is, I think we're going to start pushing out a lot more companies to go public here. I'm assuming that anywhere between 8 to 12 companies this year will float here in Canada, whether it's a TSXV or TSX or whatever other market. But this is our plan, and this is where we'd like to open up another very strong hub of ours outside of Tel Aviv.
That's wonderful. Thank you for coming in today. I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.